doesn't buy that, you know. And this is why I can't stomach anybody trying to make me feel that I'm inferior to them because I don't have stuff, because I'm not living in a friggin' mansion and got fancy vehicles and fancy clothes and money to burn left, right, and center, you know, to throw out for all kinds of fancy entertainment and you know, enjoy myself that way and all of us, and how we look up to these people, guys, and praise these people, and you know, and respect these people and so on. That, and not even, you know, oh, because they worked so hard to get their wealth and all the rest of it. Maybe some did, a lot probably didn't, guys, you know. And and you look down on the poor soul that has next to nothing, as being lazy and dirty and unworthy of your respect and your consideration and so on. That, and I've always hated that. I've never been able to stomach that kind of mentality sort of thing, you know, because as I said, money does not buy quality. Quality, that's just an aspect of your character that you develop yourself. You know, that you choose to have within yourself, that you develop yourself to become a conscientious person, a caring person, a heart-based person, a person that feels more so than, you know, you think and rationalize about things and all the rest of it sort of thing, you know, and put life and people and other living things and so on that before stuff and before materialism and all the rest of it sort of thing. It's a far better way to live, guys. Whether you get ahead materially or not, living that way, ethically, morally, it's a far better way to live, you know. And money does not buy that kind of mentality. And if anything, I think it works against it to generate it and to have it to deeper levels, the more material wealth you get, sort of thing. So if I can't go around dressed in three-piece suits all the time, you know, and wearing fancy jewelry and whatever is the mark of success in this day and age in people's eyes, all these rappers, for example, going around with all the gaudy jewelry and all this sort of stuff, you know, and flashing all the wealth and all the rest of it, and terrible mentality, guys, terrible attitudes and so on, that, you know, just using that as a modern example now, you know, that I am not in any way, shape, or form any less of a person because I don't have stuff and because I'm struggling and so on that. And I despise with a bitter passion anybody that tries to make me feel less than them because they have stuff and they have a certain measure of control or power because they have stuff, you know. Because they are an owner and I'm a renter and they're over me in some way, or they're my boss and I'm their employee, so they're over me in some way and they're got more power over me and they're better than me in some way or whatever, you know. I've never been able to accept that easily. I've never been able to stomach that kind of mentality easily. And so the ideal of the communist mentality is that everyone is equal. Everyone is 100% completely equal, guys. You know, treated equal, viewed equal, where in our basic human nature, we are all equal anyway. You know, every human being is equal. As far as like the way our brains function, the way our bodies function, we all get sick, we all grow old, we eventually die, you know, we're all equal that way. The basic elements of life that makes human beings, we're all equal in that respect. The thing that God gives us, or the powers that be that give us or whatever, that's all the same in all of us. You know, so we're equal regardless, you know. But we create these societies and we create these class systems and we create all this bullshit, guys, that tries to lower one group of people and put another group of people above them, sort of thing, you know. And I've always hated it. I've always despised it with a bitter passion. And so I struggle to get through life there, guys, because like that's always in the back of my mind. That way of thinking is always in the back of my mind. It is as Christian as you can get. I don't care. Any religious extremist can preach their freaking head off at me about the way that they view Christianity, and you don't do this and you don't do that, and you believe this way and you believe that way. You know. But this in and of itself, guys, it gets to the core of Christian ethics and Christian principles and the proper Christian way of living. sort of thing. And I've always known that. So when I get people online preaching at me, endlessly preaching at me about their view of Christianity and what they think Jesus was about, Yeshua was about, Christ was about, sort of thing, what his message was and all the rest of it, I have as good a sense as anybody of what he was about and what his message was about and how he lived his life. And I don't need anybody else preaching their version of it to me. I think my version, my understanding of it is as accurate as anybody else's. And so I try to the best of my ability, guys, to live according to my conscience, according to the way that I understand stuff. And that's why I've always lived. And now I'll soon be 60 years of age, and I'll continue living out my life that way, sort of thing. Everybody around me, they can't see that. They don't want to see that. They just want to see the surface, superficial stuff, sort of thing. Just see somebody who's screwed up and somebody can't get ahead and can't get a job and on government assistance and however they connect all those things and associate those things. And if that's all they want to see and not look beyond that, then that's tough for me, of course, because I got to deal with the aftermath of that. But that's their issue, not being able to view people accurately and well and all the rest of it, sort of thing. And I think I conduct myself in my daily life, guys. People that come in contact with me on a day-to-day basis, sort of thing, get to see me as I actually am. I think I conduct myself pretty damn well 95, 98, 99% of my time, but first everybody that I deal with. That they should get a sense of the kind of person I am after a while, and understand that I'm a pretty decent, good quality human being overall, sort of thing. And so that's it. So I mean, so when you go through life, struggling the way you're struggling, I mean, this understanding about yourself and trying to live this way, as morally and as ethically as you possibly can, and as good as you possibly can, not in a religious sense, but just in just like in an enlightened sense, a heart sense, a conscientious sense, guys, and no one sees it, no one wants to see it, because they're all going around in their own little bubbles anyway, and they can't perceive what's coming from you, or don't want to perceive what's coming from you, sort of thing. I mean, of course it's tough. It's tough to muddle through life that way and be dealing with that sort of thing constantly. Maybe I do it to people as well, wrapped up in my own little bubbles. I mean, I guess, I try not to, but I mean, I get overwhelmed a lot. Get overwhelmed, easily, and it's hard for me to kind of put myself out there to try to see things from the other person's point of view, although I know I should, because I'm feeling overwhelmed all the time. So that's just it there, guys. So I'm going to put it up right now, guys, so I'm not going to another one going too long here now. So I just want to say here, guys, what I'm going to end off here to say here now is that those of you that have subscribed to my channel, if you keep up on all my videos and so on, or most of my videos, you should, as much as anybody, have a sense of the kind of person I am. Keep me in your thoughts, guys, and please, keep me in your prayers. For those of you that might be a bit religious or whatever, or spiritually minded or whatever, keep me in your prayers. Just send good energy my way, that the powers that be will look after me and keep me from not ending up on the street, and keeping me from not ending up, dirt poor, losing everything and so on. Because that's a new load that I just don't know how I would work through, guys, if I was forced to have to face it, sort of thing, So I hope Almighty God, as I've said before, don't expect me to have to go through that and deal with that, because right now I just can't see how I could, how I would, I mean, I know my stuff is my stuff, it's just stuff, but still, I mean, when you're years and years and years trying to get stuff, and you keep losing it, and it's not easy for you to get it back, sort of thing, and I love all my stuff, I get things because I like it, sort of thing, so I feel like I lose parts of myself when I lose my things and so on. That I got my cat in there, my cat is as good as my child, I'm after saying over and over and over before, sort of thing. I've had her for over 10 years now, guys, and I mean, it's like, just can't imagine my life without her now. So if I had her ripped away from me, that's as good as just ripping my heart right out of my chest, guys. It's like ripping my child away from me. That would have a devastating effect on me, possibly for the rest of my life. And I'm struggling to get people to understand that as well. That wherever I have to move to down the road, it's got to be someplace that's pet friendly, so I can keep her with me. And not be forced to give her up and go through that pain and that heartache, sort of thing, So again, I mean, like I said, when you are dealing with a system that is just heartless right to the core, that just cares about wealth, that cares about material gain, that cares about getting ahead at the expense of others and so on, that it affects you, it devastates you, it affects your mind, it affects your heart, it affects your psyche, it affects your spirit. You know, it bit by bit, piece by piece, guys, it turns you into something that you so desperately don't want to be yourself, that you're struggling to avoid to be yourself, you know, because you don't want to be like that system. You don't want to be like the people in that system that's propping up that system and living within it and you know, getting ahead through utilizing that particular system, you know. So it's tough. It's tough. This kind of life, living this way, is extremely tough. I'm not a thick-skinned person. I'm extremely soft-hearted person, guys. I'm an extremely emotional person. Some of it's got to do with my nerves and mental issues and all this, I suppose. But maybe just me, personality-wise, regardless. I'm just not a thick-skinned person. And I remember years and years ago, guys, I had a minister's wife back in Gander when I first left home. I was still in my 20s. She told me, this is when I first came to St. John's, or about ready to come here to St. John's sort of thing, one of the truest things I think that's ever been said to me about myself and all the rest, very insightful, I thought, on her part. She seemed to have a good sense of the kind of person I was even back then in my 20s. And she said, Ivan, she said, you're a very soft-spoken person, you're a very soft-hearted person, you're all feeling, you're all emotion and all the rest of it sort of thing, you know. She said, because of that, she said, you're going to have a rough life, she said, all of your life. She said, you're never going to have it easy, you know. And this was when I was back in my 20s now, guys, only shortly, like a year or two after I left home sort of thing. And that's the way it's played out, guys. That's the way it's played out. You know, it's like I feel like I'm being walked over all the time. I feel like I'm being ignored all the time. I feel like I'm being, you know, even I'm trying to make these videos, I feel like I'm always hearing voices in the background telling me, shut up, be quiet, just to be invisible and you know, because people just don't want to hear stuff. They don't want to hear facts. They don't want to hear truth. They don't want to hear reality. They don't want to hear anything that goes to a deeper level sort of thing. They just want to stay in their freaking surface bubble. You know, maybe it's the cat I'm hearing in there, you know, but every time I make these videos, I'm talking as low as I can now, guys. There's a whole floor between me and the apartment underneath me sort of thing. I got my door closed. I'm not yelling and screaming at the top of my lungs. There's nobody in that back room right now. So there's nobody around me that should hear me right now that would be bothered and annoyed by what I'm saying, but there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying anyway, you know. So I know it's after midnight now, so I need to wind down here and tone down there and all the rest of it, you know, but... So, I also got my music playing in there as well, so there might be some music playing, something on the radio, I don't know. So that's what's going on, guys. That's what's going on in my heart and mind here. What's going on with me all the time, you know, and what I'm struggling with. So, now after several videos here now, guys, good Lord. You've seen the trees here and all the rest of it. I'm going to end up with this here now, a little bit of an upbeat thing here. So I'm going to be at this for another hour or so now, probably a couple hours, finish up maybe around 2. I can't make much noise at this anyway. I'm decorating these 2 trees there now, guys. I just took a set of lights off this tree, what I had on the tree before, because it wasn't coming out the way I wanted to come out, and I didn't have enough lights to go out the top. I would have had to readjust them anyway. But I went from these lights here, I'm going to do this there now. These lights here, guys, can you see what I got there? They're a little bit different. They're the type that that's the wrong ones too. I got 2 sets of those. These are, my guys, yeah. You tell me I'm not crushed now, guys? Hold that now, hold that down. That's just what I was trying to talk to you. I'll get that busted up there now. This is why I need somebody else operating this camera, see guys? Doing everything by yourself is damn near impossible. Okay, now I did that last night with another set, and I don't believe I busted it up, but it's a wonder though, because this is only cheap stuff. Anyway, guys, what I am doing here is I'm switching over to the set of lights. So once this is done, it's going to look like this one because I got the same thing. Stop it here now. Can you have a more unprofessional setup, guys? No, it's going to look like this, guys. Once it's done. And I want both the trees to be more or less, these two trees to be more or less the same. And so they're going to be decorated the same. And let's put these batteries back in now. Hopefully I didn't bust that up there. I don't want to have to go and get another set of see these lights, guys, because this is it. I mean, when you are okay, I got something busted off there. This is why I say I'm cursed, guys. This is why I say I'm either the most absent-minded person going when I'm doing stuff and so on that, or just yeah. I got this busted off right now. I don't know. I'm gonna get that back on there. No, not gonna get this working. So I'm gonna fiddle around there now, guys. Hopefully I didn't do anything so I can't make this work because they're not super expensive. But like again, I've used a lot of money now towards decorations and so on that, and I don't want to put too much more money toward decorations. I just spent a bit part of an hour now doing what I got to do there. All because I had them wrapped around my neck there. Now, guys, I just pulled the fucking thing off there. I thought I had enough room there just to demonstrate what I want to demonstrate for you. So I've gone from these here to these, guys. Basically what I want to show you. And so I'm going to finish that off here right now. And see if we get a few decorations on that one, on the other one. And then get some stuff up around tomorrow. And that'd be it. I'm a bit disgusted right now. Guys, I'm going to get off now. I'm going to take care. God bless. And say prayers for me, guys, because this crap happens to me all the time when I'm doing stuff muddled and knock things over and drop things. And anyway, there, guys. Take care. God bless.